As everybody knows by now, Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. And beyond that, we have just experienced a total lunar eclipse. And this eclipse has been pretty crazy already. French Prime Minister resigned, Japanese Prime Minister resigned. There was a huge overthrow in Nepal where they dragged the financial minister through the streets in a pair of Speedos and a gimp mask and then burned down the parliament. The people of the world are tired and the astrologers are unsurprised. So now that we know the mood, let's take a look at what was going on with Charlie. First, and most important, is this 22-degree Mars, which is wedged right between his Libra Sun and Jupiter.
I'm just going to scooch in right here if you don't mind.
Which is getting additional pressure from a loose square transiting Jupiter and a Chiron moon opposition as the moon shifts from Aries to Taurus. See, Charlie's got some strange ideas about how everybody else should be living their life. He thinks that he knows best for what everybody else should be doing. And those thoughts and ideas are absolutely tied to the transitory events that occurred. Now, on the surface, it might not seem like this Leo Venus squaring up with his Scorpio Mercury is such a big deal, because Charlie was used to courting controversy. Why should today be any different than any other day? Well, that man decided to stand under an awning that said, "Prove me wrong," and speak on the subject of violence, and somebody took him up on it. In fact, that fire Venus made sure that violence was the last word out of his mouth. Some of his long-term aspects have been unfavorable for a while. Retrograde Saturn, retrograde Neptune, retrograde Pluto have all been aspecting his late-degree Virgo Venus for quite some time. Here's where we see that final nail in the coffin. Uranus retrograde conjunct his south node and opposing his north node in Sagittarius. People sleep on these nodal interactions, but they shouldn't because they can set a whole chart off, and this Uranus retrograde is not playing games with anyone. A Sagittarius North Node has a divine mission to speak the truth of liberation, and his uptight Virgo Chiron squaring his North Node, combined with his weirdo authoritarian ideas, got in the way. So Uranus is going to rock the boat and try to capsize anything out of alignment. To the greater end I say this. What that Etsy witch did was cute. But let's give the real credit where it was due, and that was with Charlie. He's been weaving a spell of violent words around himself for years, and on September 10th at 12:20 p.m., the stars aligned to give his will to power. And men with microphones should pay attention. When you build your future on rage bait and being the advocate for the devil, you may end up a millionaire, or you may end up talking out the side of your neck like Charlie. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.